All right, good morning, guys.
Good morning.
How are you guys doing today?
Good.
Good. So, in math, we've been working on clocks and telling time, and this is one of the hardest things to learn. I know my students really struggled with it last year, especially on the tests when you guys get to those hard, tricky word problems of trying to solve if someone leaves at a certain time when they'll be getting there. And I know just in today's age, a lot of us don't really know how to read a clock, because what do we usually use to tell time? Someone raise their hand and tell me. Yeah, Craig. Yeah, a lot of people just use their watch. What else do we use that we usually keep in our pockets? Yeah, our phones, our cell phones. So when we see something time on a cell phone or time on a digital phone, that's called digital. So if I give you guys the digits like, that would be 12 o'clock, that's digital time. So digital time's easier to read because you can just say it as opposed to looking on an actual clock. In what different ways is time measured? Can you guys think of the different ways it's measured? Think of different terms you would think of when you hear the word time. How do we measure time? Just throw out words. For instance, I'll give you guys a hint. My birthday was January 15th, 1988. So I was born way back in 1988 before you guys were born. So if I was born in 1988, sorry, what is that? 1988 is a year. So years is one way we can measure time. So Mr. Stoltz is 25 years old. I was born in January of 1988. Jared, what year were you born in? Awesome, so another January birthday. Good. Craig?
January 17th, 2000.
Okay, another January birthday. Awesome. So that's really cool, guys. We can measure time in years. So we know how to measure time in years. How many days are in a year? Do you remember? 365, good. In most years, there's 365 days. In a leap year, there's one extra day, so how many days would we have? Yeah, 366 days in a leap year. So, years is a way to measure time, days is a way to measure time. What else? What's on a clock? How do we measure time in a clock? Okay, numbers, but what would we call them? Yeah, minutes is one way, and what's the other one? Seconds, and one other one. We're missing the small hand. What's the small hand? Hours, good. So, 3 ways we measure time in a clock are hours, minutes, and seconds. Very good. Alright, I'm going to hold up a clock face, and you guys are going to help me out. Which hand stands for the hour hand on a clock? The red one. And why do you say the red one? Yes, good. Very good, Craig. The short hand is what represents an hour on a clock. So right now, my hour hand is pointed a little below the 3. So as the hour hand moves, who can remind me, how many hours are in a full day? Gage, what do you think? 24, do you agree, Craig? Jared, do you agree? 24 hours. Guys, how do we find that out? I know a lot of people may know that, but how do we know for sure using a clock that there's 24 hours in a day, Craig? You what? Oh, there you go. At McDonald's, it's open 24 hours, so we know that, hey, there's 24 hours in a day, because does McDonald's ever close? Some of them do, but the one in Dubuque, the drive-thru is at least open 24 hours, so that's cool. Another way, guys, that we figured that out was if we count, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. If that's 12 all the way around, how many times does it go around in a full day then? 2 times, good. So Jared got the concept. That's how we have 24 hours in a day. And quick reminder, if it's 12 o'clock lunchtime, what time is that? Is that AM or PM? It's PM, good. Lunchtime is PM. 12 AM, would that be what time? That would be night, midnight, good. So 12 PM is lunch. 12 AM is night. Very, very good. Okay, next, I want you guys to tell me which hand is the minute hand. minute hand. Craig, which one's the minute hand? The blue one. So the long one is the minute hand. And if we look at our clock on the wall up there, we can see the minute hand is longer. So right now it's about exactly 8 o'clock. And you see the second hand moving and the time at 8 o'clock. Good. So how many minutes are in an hour? Minutes in an hour. Seem a little unsure. Do you guys agree? Gage, do you agree? Jared, do you agree? Good. How do we know that? How do we know there's 60 minutes in an hour?
There's like 5 minutes on every.
Awesome. Using your little clocks, and I'll use my big clock, we can see it counted it for us. So between the 12 and the 1, there's 5 minutes. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. Good. So 60 minutes in an hour. 60 minutes in an hour. How many hours in a day again? 24. Good, and that's very important to remember. All right, I'm going to draw 2 clock faces on the board and explain to you guys the concept of half hours and quarter hours. So 1 full hour equals how many minutes? Yep. So there's 60 minutes. Awesome, very good. So you guys got that concept down, 60 minutes in an hour. So you guys have probably all heard of the term half hour. And the way I always think of half hours, I don't know about you guys, but I love watching TV. A lot of TV shows are usually only a half hour. Some of them are a full hour long episode with commercials, but most TV shows are usually fall in that half hour range. So if a full hour is 60 minutes, how much time would be in a half hour? Jared? 30, good, because Jared did 60 divided by, not 3, you did 60 divided by 2. So how many minutes are in a half hour? 30. Good, so you guys are getting that down. There's 30 minutes in a half hour. Now we're going to talk about quarter hours. So that's a little confusing at first. If we break up 60 4 times this time instead of 2, how much time would be in every quarter hour? How do we do that? I know we started working on division. It's kind of tough. Good, Craig. How'd you do that?
15 plus 15 equals 30.
Okay.
15 plus 30 equals 45. 45 plus 15 equals 6.
Awesome. I love what Craig said there. So Craig looked over here and said, hey, if there's 30 minutes in each of these, if we divide this in half again, that will leave us with 15. And that's kind of, guys, where we start hearing, we talk about quarter hours. Someone will say like quarter to 6 or quarter after 7. So now you guys know what that means. It means 15 minutes after. So if I say, Mr. Stoltz wakes up at a quarter after 6, what time does that mean? He wakes up at a quarter after 6.
6:30?
A quarter. So if I woke up a half hour after 6, that would be 6:30.
6:50.
Okay, Jared, is that what you're going to say? 6:15? Good. So a quarter after 6 means 15. A quarter after 6. What time do you guys usually wake up? We're going to round it to the nearest, either nearest hour or nearest 15. I actually usually wake up at 6:05, which is kind of a weird time, but I'll round it up to 6:15. So Mr. Stoltz will say wakes up at 6:15. And would it be AM or PM when I'm waking up? Good. Why is it AM? In the morning. Good. Mr. Stoltz wakes up at 6:15. Gage, when do you wake up? 6:30 AM? Craig, when do you wake up? 5:30. Early riser. What time do you go to bed, Craig? 8:30. Jared? 6:15? Okay. Sweet. Alright, so we all know what time we wake up each morning. I wake up at 6:15, Gage wakes up at 6:30, Craig early riser 5:30, and Jared about 6:15 along with me. Good. So that's kind of an important time to know, because are we going to be using time the rest of our lives? Yeah, that's one of the cool things about math. A lot of the things we're going to learn here, you're going to be using the rest of your lives, whether you like it or not. You're always going to be needing time. No matter what profession or job you have, you're always going to be using time. We need to be to places on time. You don't want to be late. What can happen if you're late to work? You guys get jobs today. What can happen when you're late, Paige? You can get fired, yeah, just for being late. Obviously, it probably won't be the first time. You might get a warning, but some people might be strict about it. And if you don't have good habits of getting to places on time, you could get in big trouble at your job. Good. I want you guys with your small clocks to show me 1:15. Can everyone make 1:15? Everyone to make 1:15. Good, Craig. You got it, let me see it. Good, Gage. Good, Jared. So we're just going to practice going through the quarters real quick. I know you guys got half hours down pretty well. So we have to go from 1:15 to 1:30. You guys can look up there if you need to. 1:30 to 1:45. And for 1:45, we wouldn't say 60, we would say, what time is it now? 2 o'clock, very good. Okay, so, will we be using time the rest of our lives? Is it important to know how to read a clock? Yeah, very important. Alright, I'm going to give you an example problem, and we're going to try it together. Okay, how many of you guys watch SpongeBob? Okay, 2 of you watch SpongeBob, 1 of you don't. Okay. SpongeBob and Patrick began fishing for jellyfish at 3 o'clock. So let's show 3 o'clock. Everyone show 3 o'clock. So we got our small red hour hand on the 3, and our minute hand should be right up at the 12. Good. Alright, so SpongeBob and Patrick began fishing for jellyfish at 3 o'clock. They fished until 3:15. So how much time has that been?
15.
Good, just 15 minutes. Let's move it over. They fished for 15 minutes. Then they rested for 15 minutes. So they were kind of tired from their 15 minutes of fishing, so maybe they took a little nap on the boat or something. That would be 3:30. So how much time has passed so far? 15 minutes or a half hour total? I'm hearing some different things. I'm hearing hour, I'm hearing half hour, I'm hearing 15 minutes. We started at 3 o'clock, right? And they fished for 15 minutes, and now they rested for 15. So how much total time? Half an hour, 30 minutes, just like we talked about up here. Good. Alright, so next, they fished 15 more minutes before going home. So we're going another 15. So they fished 15, they slept 15, now they're going another 15. How much total time has passed? 45 minutes. So what time will it be when they leave? What does this show? Yeah, what time does this show? 3:45. So they got there at 3, fished for 15 minutes, rested for 15 minutes, fished again, and then they can go home for 3:45. Good. So, any questions today on telling time? You guys think like you have it mastered with minutes and hours? Good. Okay, I'm going to pass out a worksheet that's going to check to see if you guys can do these types of things. If we can see how we can make 6:15, 6:30, 5:30, 6:15. So you guys can identify some times for me, and it will help me see if you guys can understand time and read time well. So I'm going to let you keep your clocks at your desk, and I'm going to pass out the sheets, and I want you guys to work. We'll do the first one together. So telling time. Again, telling time is something you'll be doing for the rest of your lives. So the directions, telling time, write the time shown on the clock. So guys, this is going to help me see if you learned today what the hour hand is, what the minute hand is, where it's pointing exactly. So number 1, where's the small hand facing, Gage?
9.
The 9. So that means it's 9 what?
9 o'clock.
Good, 9 o'clock. The minute hand is facing the...
Yes.
Ooh, good catch. So the long minute hand is a little before the 5. So if you look closely, it would be 9:24. And do we have to worry about AM or PM with this worksheet? No, we're not worrying about that yet because it doesn't tell you if it's in the night or in the morning. Eventually we're going to start talking about AM and PM in here. But today we're just working on telling time and making sure we know for sure where the hour hand's at and where the minute hand's at. And one of the trickiest things I remember, guys, when I was in school, was those problems where the hour hand looked like it was close to a certain number, but it wasn't actually over that number yet. So make sure you pay attention to that. For instance, if it was 2:55, that might look close to 3 o'clock, but remember, it's not quite 3 yet. So I'm going to give you the rest of class to finish working on this clock assignment. Again, we're going to keep working on this the rest of the year, so this is good practice to learn our hour hand, our minute hand, the seconds, and then eventually we're going to get into more word problems like we did with SpongeBob today, where we work on if so-and-so left at a certain time and got there at a certain time, how much time elapsed, how much time took place. You guys did a fantastic job today. I will give you the rest of the time to finish up your assignment. And when you're done, you can turn it in to me and then read a book silently.